The boy Dub Deuce in the building.
All right, what up, what up, what up? It is that guy Dub, and I'm back with another video. How you guys doing at the end of the day? Shout it, I'm good money. Now today from Loud and Locals, you send super dope podcast. Lisa and Jeff, how you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing fantastic. Nice to see you.
That's awesome. I can't complain. Just one day at a time, just trying to live in the dream. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's right.
You said so. For the few people that you said that don't know, you said tell us a little bit about your podcast and how you guys got started together.
All right. Well, how it all began was I knew Rob J, who had Cleveland's Finest, and I was recording music at the time, and he invited me on his show. Said, "Why don't you come on? We'll play some of your tunes. We could talk music." So I went on there, and while I was sitting there and we were all talking, I was like, "Man, I could totally do this. This is really fun. I'd love to have my own podcast and talk music and stuff all the time." And so one thing led to another. I ended up at Redline Radio. Before I knew it, I had a show coming up in February, my first one. No idea what I was doing. It's a lot harder than it looks, actually. When I was on Rob J show, I was like, man, this is easy. But then once I was up there by myself, I was like, this is a little more difficult. You have to have all that content, right? Mm-hmm. So not long into it, I started talking to Lisa. She took me to that comedy show, the Comedy Awards, and did the red carpet thing. And after that, I was pretty much hooked.
You was hooked that day.
And then I asked Lisa to start coming on some shows. And I met her. Like Tim kept saying, you have to meet Lisa. She's amazing and stuff, right? She could help you with so much stuff. And so I asked her to come on, of all shows, I asked her to come on the Ball Gag and Chain show.
Yeah, I was like, what show?
Yeah. I tried to theme all my shows, and I wanted to go with like a dark, heavy, gothic type show, and so I was like dark and heavy, dungeons, right? So I got my head thinking about like dungeons and like sex clubs and all that crazy stuff. And so, yeah, that's the show I brought her on, and we had great chemistry.
It was fun.
And after a while, I started talking to Lisa about like trying to change the show and fixing it and do different things. And she started helping out. And then that's what happened, Dub. One thing led to another, and I can't get rid of her.
It sounds like y'all married. That sounds like
It's like being married without the unhappiness.
Oh my goodness. You sitting there like, what you getting into? What you doing podcasting? You said like, and you mentioned earlier, it's like it was harder than what you thought it would be. So like, how do you go through the hustle and bustle of keeping it fresh each week?
Well, I guess a lot of it is we get together at least once or twice a week, and plus we talk on the phone like every day.
Oh, so y'all are married for real?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. We are together a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, we come up with themes basically. So like December is all about Christmas, and then since I'm the Scrooge and she's the holiday cheer, I'm doing all the stuff like how Rudolph was being bullied and Scrooge and the story, and then she's doing all the nice stuff like the history of Christmas and Santa and stuff like that.
Right.
And then we figure out our skits too, because now we're doing skits, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, they have been.
So that's kind of like how we go about it. And like October was all about Halloween and paranormal. So the creativity part has been pretty easy since we go with themes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But mostly our show, a lot of local shows about music, like local music. And now we're going like global music and local music. We're doing shows now to talk about on our Loud and Local show also. So like we've been going to the Kava Bar and Lucy's, which ain't called Lucy's no more. It's like Rosemary or something. And, we just been like trying to incorporate all the stuff about music into the Loud and Local show also.
And Dub, so much funny things happen just in real life that it just makes it onto the show. Like the time that Lisa ran through the parking lot barefoot in a rainstorm, I got the thought of Sasquatch, and we were doing the paranormal stuff anyways, and I was like, I'm gonna do a whole thing about Sasquatch, and it just tied in perfectly. And
I was not about to get my white shoes wet.
No, she ran really well through the parking lot.
I believe it, but you say I'm with you on that because you got on white shoes. You got to try to keep them things crispy as long as you can.
Exactly. See? He
Yeah.
gets it.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I got it too. I just would never run through that parking lot
I don't care.
barefoot.
I mean, hey, I'd be like, here, somebody hand me a pair of Crocs or something. You know what I'm saying? I'll run that way. But no, if I got some white Air Force Ones, no. I'm not going at gunpoint.
Yeah.
I
So
sacrificed Pete.
yeah, she sacrificed herself, and that's how I got the idea of Sasquatch, and
Yeah.
it was really funny because we had the video of her running through the parking lot, so it all just tied in really well. And
It was fun.
so a lot of that creativity stuff just comes from when we're out and about and doing stupid stuff.
Mhm.
Now, when you guys you said when you interview musical guests, you said like, what's like something like the first question you want to ask them? Like, let's say they come off stage and like you want to talk to them. Like, what's the first question that you want to ask? Like, you said a new musical act that you're encountering for the first time.
Well, for me, I like to know what the song is about.
Yeah.
That's one of my main questions. Is I always want to know what the song's about and what they were going through at the time when they wrote it. I really like to find out like the interpersonal
Right.
stuff.
So that just
That's-
makes the song anyway.
Yeah, the lyrics are where it's at, and I want to know about them. Especially if I'm moved by the song.
Right. It like to me like because we see a lot of musicians, they'll use ghostwriters or using a writing team and things like that. It's like we'll take Usher because he's still in the news right now because he's supposed to be doing the halftime show, and like a lot of people got so invested in the Confessions album, not realizing that Usher didn't write one song on that
Right.
whole album, but you said that album touched your soul. You like you going through a breakup or something like that, and you come to find out Jermaine Dupri actually wrote that entire album. Now, is it disappointing to you if you find out that the lyrics to a song that you actually were moved by you wasn't written by them at all?
For me, I would say yes, because lyrics are so personal, and they should be written by the artist. But I mean,
Not
also
all
on
that
the other
happens.
hand, there's a lot of songs that are not performed by the performers. You know what I mean? Like, that song "Hash Pipe," I got my hash pipe. Do you know that song was written in the studio and then delivered to artists? Weezer never even wrote that, and Ozzy Osbourne actually passed up on that song.
Mhm.
So there was a bunch of artists that passed up on it before it became Weezer's song. So I
Right.
guess it goes
Yeah.
both ways. I don't know. It's a good song.
But like with me being I'm a songwriter, and we've been working on a album actually, and I wrote all the songs and he's actually doing the music part of it. But so
Okay.
my lyrics don't have nothing to do with like we have to find somebody who can sing the songs for us.
Mhm.
So I kind of I'm not like on the fence with that because my lyrics that's like good for me, and then having to find somebody and it's going to be what they're actually going through and what they're feeling. So I'm kind of like on the fence with that. Like I really want to know like if not being so much disappointed if it's the musician that's actually the artist that's actually going through that. But
Yeah.
you know,
Although,
not a lot of them have that. Like there's like a lot of us who write music for the artist that's really not going through that. So I don't know. To me, it wouldn't bother me.
although I would say this: pain is universal. We all feel it.
Yeah.
Heartbreak, grief, trauma. We all go through it, and we all go through it in our different ways. So I mean, you can relate to it. You know
Yeah, that's
I mean?
what I'm
So,
saying. Like I think it's for like everybody.
Yeah.
So like I wouldn't be so disappointed if it wasn't really the artist that actually wrote the song.
Yeah, I guess it's a double-edged sword,
Mhm.
really.
It really is because when you look at a song like you said, one of Beyonce's biggest hits was "Irreplaceable,"
Right.
and Neo wrote that song. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I mean, it's
But-
like
Look at all
So-
the songs that Prince wrote for
Right.
Sinead O'Connor.
Right.
What's that one big famous song? Nothing compares to you. That was written by Prince.
yeah. Now, you said like we're gonna
Think
switch
hell out
to a
of it.
little bit of controversy because you said like people, a lot of people are on the fence, like especially like when it comes to an artist like R. Kelly, and we all think what he did was abhorrent and disgusting. You know what I'm saying, and things like that. But you said like, can you like separate the artist from the art? You said like, especially if their personal lives are using delved in turmoil the way his was.
Oh man, that's a tough question
Yeah.
because there's been so many musicians that I looked at as gods and idols that once I realized what they were all about, I was turned off from.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, yeah, I would be turned off from somebody going against my beliefs or something that I think that is
especially with the child trafficking and stuff out there that a
Yeah.
lot of these artists has been coming out with. And
like if I was to
Yeah.
find out one of my idols was a child, trafficker or something like
You said
Definitely.
yes.
that,
Yeah.
I'd be horrified by that. Yeah. But that's my stand on it.
Mhm.
I don't know if I could get past that.
I couldn't, if they were child trafficked, there's
I
no
couldn't
way
look past that.
there's nothing goes past that.
No,
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
thinking about all their songs they wrote and all the songs I sang to through all the years, like, ugh.
I'd be throwing all their shit in
I'd
this
be throwing
garbage.
it
There
all
you go.
I can't even lie to you. Is it like me personally? I can use and it's like because I don't give a damn what nobody says. I believe I can fly. It's still one of the greatest, most inspirational songs in the world. Usually, it's just but you just sitting there like this, man. Like you son of a bitch.
Right.
So what I'm saying? And like would you go into these and Lisa, you're always going live when you saying like showcasing these artists and things like that. It's like
Oh, yeah.
it's like how fun is it for you guys to go out? Because like I said, you guys are always together, what I'm saying, like always doing out showcasing talent and stuff like that. So like you said, how enjoyable is it for you to do this night in and night out? Because so like some people do it just for the views on their post, and some people do it because they actually enjoy experiencing new music. So like you said, what is your enjoyment that you get out of it?
Well, Dub, let me say this before she answers. Last night I had her up on stage, emceeing the bands coming up.
Okay.
That was fun. That was different.
And she did a great job.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I really did like that though, for real. I like listening to multiple different kind of music, and just to go out and listen to like what's local, around here, it's good because you kind of like you get to know the artist, you listen to them, then you see them grow, and they might become to something. You'd be like, hey, yeah, I used to watch them at the Kava Bar. He used to hook up with us, and we used to put them on our shows. But it's just like just seeing how they blossom on different things and how their growth. I like to be part of that.
Yeah, it's
Like,
cool.
yeah, it's like some of our musicians already that we've been dealing with that's already grown. And it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
I like different music anyway, so
And Dub, I'll say this too. It's one of the coolest jobs ever.
yeah,
You know?
it is pretty cool.
And it's not really even a job. There is a lot of work that goes into it.
But it's
ton of
fun.
work.
But it's really fun.
Yeah, but the payoff's amazing.
Mhm.
Seeing the bands on stage and having a good time.
Right.
It's one of the best jobs ever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
fun.
you said like we live in a world where people like to sugarcoat stuff a lot, and then of course, but there's also you can look at it. There's also a way to say certain things without offending somebody. So let's say using a group comes up to you that wants to be on your show or wants you to work with them, but they don't quite have it yet. I mean, basically, they're just ass at this point. You said they have potential, but let's so like, how would you guys sit there and tell them they have potential, but they don't have it right now?
Well, I mean, for me, brutal honesty is the best way to go.
Yeah.
I think you have to tell the truth. You can't lie. You can't fib whatsoever.
Right.
You need to be brutally honest with them. But the thing is,
It's the approach, though.
it's the approach, and it's practice. It's being on social media. It's working your art. And if you continue to work and push, you're going to get there. That's the thing about it. You just get better and better as a musician.
Right.
You just continue to grow. So they might be that like I've had plenty of acts throughout my lifetime. I've watched bomb on stage, completely bomb, and then want to be sad and give up. But it's all a process. Then you have another show coming up, and you just get better and better. We all start somewhere, man. That's my take on it.
Big fact.
Yeah,
Lisa?
mine's more like I I always call him the hothead, and I'm like the one that sits back and says, okay, well, let's approach it this way instead of so, but like he said, they have to learn how to, like, if he goes up and says something, they have to learn how to take, the criticism and like try to fix it. And if they can't take criticism, they really shouldn't be musicians anyway, because as everybody knows, music is nothing but criticism. Not everybody's going to like how you sound. No, not everybody's going to like your song, So you have to have that,
Thick skin.
thick skin type, and
Dub,
that's just the way it is.
I had to learn it too when I came to podcasting. Look how hated I was in the very beginning. Like, so many people were on me. And, still I get a lot of haters, but it just comes with the game.
But you get
So,
noticed.
Well, you're still getting noticed.
Yeah,
I mean,
one way or the
someone
other.
told me one time, bad news is still news.
Right.
So, I mean, people are still noticing me, even though they don't like me. It's all good.
Right.
But it's the same with music. It's all relative. So
It's
if
just
you're,
how you handle it.
it's how you handle things. And we've met a lot of great bands, and even the bands that aren't so good. The one thing I always say is they keep trying though.
Yeah, they do.
They keep playing. Like I see this one band all the time that I don't think is very good at all, but they play all the time. And then not too long ago, I saw them play, and I looked at Lisa and I go, that wasn't too bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it just goes to prove.
Yeah, they get better.
Yeah, you just got to keep at it, like anything.
But I would not let them play on one of our shows. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't, because everybody deserves a chance, and
Right.
try to do what they can.
Yeah.
I turn nobody away.
Yeah, I don't turn anybody away. I give everybody a shot,
Mm-hmm.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Right. It's funny because, like I said, us being on social media, I've had some pretty crappy comments and things like that, and it's just funny. And it's like I tell the kids all the time, it's like, yeah, people are going to talk bad in the comment section. For one, a lot of them are just looking for attention.
Right.
Two, like a lot of them are just projecting using their negative energy onto you to try to bring your mood down. But at the end of the day, they still had to click on your content. Two, they still had to watch it to be able to say something, and you still got a view out of it. So maybe just
Exactly.
because it was bad, they still had to interact with your content, and then also they have to go back to whatever miserable life they actually had after you said took off your video or off your post. Like I always try to teach positivity. Like with teaching positivity, like what is some of the best positive feedback that you've given to an artist that you could tell that they took it and and internalized it and put it into motion?
Right.
Uh,
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, I think you're asking us if we had an artist that we had that happen with.
Mhm.
I think it happens with every artist we work with.
Yeah.
Every single one of them, because it first and foremost, there's a lot of people out there that promote a lot. You know who they are because you see their stuff everywhere, right?
Mhm.
We're one of those people. We're always promoting, so that's one thing that we instill in the artists that we work with is to promote yourself, man. Get your music out there, get your comedy out there, get whatever you do out there. If you're a painter or whatever, you got to get your stuff out there. And I think a lot of them look at us and see what we're doing in the scene, with the podcast Loud and Local, with the shows we put on. And I think that's helping them.
Right.
I think they could see that it's possible to do stuff.
Yeah, and they've seen us grow. Like now we're going to be starting the KZ Productions here soon in December 6th. So
New podcast.
yeah, so they're going to be looking at it, and we had a few people coming up already wanting to be on the show. Doing their music now, that they're wanting to give us another opportunity to show them what we can do for them.
Yeah, we don't work with too many artists that aren't inspired.
Right.
The artists that we had last night,
they were great.
Y'all, just like you're rubbing off on me. But the artists we had last night, they're all great in their own special way, and they don't need any inspiration from us whatsoever.
Mm-mm. Nope.
We're
having to promote them though.
Yeah, we're happy to promote them, and vice versa, they promote us.
Right.
So
Right.
You see, like especially in this business, like we're all about networking and meeting new people and things like that. Now, what it like when you go to book a guest for your show, it's like, do you? Because me, like when I do my show, whatever just comes off the top of my head is whatever. I don't write my questions down. I just go with the vibe of the conversation. So like before you have a guest on your show, I mean, do you discuss what you guys are going to talk about, like key points or things like that, or how do you interact with the guests when it comes to preparing for the show?
well, I like to go off the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to go with the flow of the show, the vibe, like you say. That there's nothing better than that. The only thing that we script out is the segments of the show.
Right.
There's no times that we put down there. We just have a basic, because you always see my sheet, right? You always have a basic, well, I have this band coming up, and then I have the interview with, say, the psychic medium.
Right.
Sometimes I write down the questions because they ask if I'll give them the questions ahead of time, and I'll do it. But
you have to know a little bit about what who you're
Yeah.
having on your show anyway. So if it's something like really important you want to really touch base on, I usually write it down a little bit, you know.
And we haven't had anybody on that we had to really put that much work into because we're like the paranormal stuff. We both love it, so there's a million questions we could ask them,
Right.
and the music questions goes on and on because we have so much involved in that. But
music goes pretty good. Just kind of just flows.
I
Just
love
let them
doing
talk.
it.
Yeah, just let them talk, and then you just go with it.
My favorite one was Andre when he was on.
Yeah.
He was so much fun.
Yeah. Now, you said like we see like certain artists, like you. I was actually on the phone with a buddy of mine earlier, and he was talking about a YouTube video that I done a reaction video to this artist by the artist name of Dax, and I can't remember the name of the song, but it's something I got wasted. I can't remember exactly how the song, but he in the song he's talking about how he got wasted and how he turns to alcohol and things like that. And so you see some of these artists that are so powerful, like you, because Peggy sends me videos all the time, and I got to get back to doing my reactions, to the music videos and stuff. But it's like, what do you think that certain thing is? Why you could see somebody on a local level that is extremely polished, powerful, and like this mofo should be on the radio? Like, what do you think? Like, you think it could be the powers that be, or do you think like that has not gotten this artist to pop like you think that they should?
To be discovered.
Yes.
First of all, the market is giant.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of artists that are out there that are talented in all the different genres. There's some music. Are extremely talented. Hold on 1 second.
Just like that.
Trying to get me copyrighted. There we go. It was getting extremely zen-like.
Yeah.
My point was, what was I saying?
About all the artists that will get noticed.
All the different genres. So to be special and get noticed, to make it to that next level, you have to be like the best of the best, right? Mm-hmm. Just to get out of Cleveland, because let's talk about some of the Cleveland acts that were amazing, like Michael Stanley Band.
Right.
I could go on and on the different bands that came out of Cleveland.
Huey Lewis.
Yeah, Huey Lewis. There's so many great bands, and to get noticed, to get to that next level, you have to be extraordinary. Right. And I'll tell you the one thing that gets you to that next level, and for everybody to listen out there, the fan base.
Yes.
You got to have a strong fan base. You got to be able to pull at least 100 some kids to your show, or not even kids, but older adults, whatever, to get to your shows. That's the main thing that's going to get people to notice you.
You can be the greatest band, like we have great bands, but they don't bring the fans.
You could be the greatest musician in the world and never make it because you don't have the drive to get to that next level. There's so many guys out there that are in their mom and dad's basements creating orchestrated soundscapes that are amazing that should be in movies. But there's a lot of guys out there that don't do anything with it.
Right.
So, I mean, you could be amazing, but if you don't push yourself, you're not going to get to that next level. And there's a lot of factors that get you to that next level that are different today than they were before.
Right.
So
there's
a lot
harder. It's very harder.
It's way harder. Yeah. And like for instance, I was talking to he does like hip hop and R&B. He was here last night. He has a whole writing team. He's got a guy that produces. He does the music. They do social media. They push and push and push, and they're to the point of where they should be going to the next level.
Exactly.
There's no reason why they shouldn't be at the next level. We manage Olivia. They should be on tour with Avenged Sevenfold right now. They're that good. Mm-hmm. So
they don't have the fans.
They don't have the fan base, and you have to have the fan base to get noticed.
Right. Now, you said it's like there's been a lot of talk, going around. It's like, let's say like you said developing an artist. You said because I see it a lot of artists, they'll I guess turn to their vices or whatever, what have you, and they'll get to lashing out on their fans, like or whatever. Now you happen to scroll your social media, you see somebody that you're working with, and they're going in on their fans in the comment section because, like, let's say they've had a few too many, or got a little high, or just was having a bad day, and should have not got on social media, but did anyway, and it literally are tarnishing their own brand. Like, how would you have that conversation with them? Like, yo, you need to chill that out.
Well, we've had that conversation with just us together about our brand. I'll be honest. There's been times that I'm the loose cannon, Dub.
He is.
He's
a hothead.
I get pissed off at certain situations, and probably shouldn't have went on social media that day. Should have kept some of that stuff to myself. It's a learning process. So I see it with bands all the time. Lisa sees it with bands all the time. We deal with it. We've had bands lash out at us in certain situations. It's
my thing is, like, getting angry and acting a fool. It don't get you anywhere. It just makes you look stupid. Yeah, you might get recognized, as, oh gosh, here comes that band. They're like the ones that yell and scream all the time. You lose fans that way. I don't care what they say. You lose fans.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to deal with people anymore with attitudes.
Right.
Yeah.
We have enough attitude in the world as it is. We don't want more.
It's the same thing with business too. If say you're putting on a show, Dub, and you have a comedian on there that wants to tear the audience apart because they're not laughing at his joke.
Yeah.
It's not going to do him any good whatsoever. It might be in the moment. People might be like, oh, it's like
they fight.
It's fighting in the whole bit.
Yeah.
But in the long run, it's just going to make him look like an ass.
Right.
Just like it would make me look like an ass if I did something against our brand, or a musician did something like lashing out.
Right.
In the moment, it's all good, right? But
it's the after effect.
It's the after effect down the line, and you lose fans that way. And you lose face in business.
Absolutely. You said, did you guys turn your camera?
I don't know. I keep trying to get in. You need to get closer. There you go. We got
we're way too close again.
Way too close.
I feel like we're on a first date here. Let me put my arm around Lisa. Here we go.
You said, no, you said, marriage counseling on the horizon. No, but
we go through this on the show all the time. Our chairs are always bumping against each other.
See, like, we have to be like this now. See,
but if you turn your phone like a landscape instead of portrait, it might help a little bit.
I don't know. Let me see. Let's try this.
See,
is that better?
Yep.
Is that better?
Yep. Now you can scoot over and then you can scoot in.
And we still got to like.
The other way.
You okay? Do that beginning.
It's still not doing the same. It's still doing the same thing.
It was probably better the other way.
Yeah, it's better this way, Dub.
Okay. There you go.
Tap this on top of each other.
Okay. Now you said like I was watching an episode of Hot Ones. I don't know if you're familiar with that show on YouTube with the guy. He has guests come on. Yes, I love that show. Now, the reason I brought up the previous question is because a person who is notorious for disparaging her own fans is Doja Cat. I don't know one Doja Cat song. I just see the headlines go down my timeline and stuff like that, and I'm just that definitely made me want to ask. It was like, these are your fans. Why are you sitting there like dogging your fans out? It's like, do you not want to be here? You know what I'm saying? So like that's what actually made me bring up that question. And like another artist like Soulja Boy, he goes in like on wild crazy rants all the time, and just like he recently went in on J. Cole, and J. Cole was basically giving him props, and I guess he misinterpreted what J. Cole said and was like F J. Cole and blah 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 blah, and it's just like and you look down while he was live, and all of his fans are like, dude, what are you doing? And he's just like going crazy. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, that's what made me ask you said that question right there. Now we're gonna get back into like live music. You know what I'm saying? It's like what is your favorite instrument when you said to be played using from a live band?
What's your favorite?
I'm just starting to learn how to play the guitar, the electric guitar. So I always wanted to play.
I'm partial to guitar. I like the crazy sounds it can make. I like getting heavy with it and distortion and letting it feed back and rip.
Then again, those drummers. Oof.
It's like I'm basically I'm like an old school, you say R&B, like you said Motown type stuff. And of course I do like my hip hop and my R&B, but to me, one of the baddest mofos on the drums is Travis Barker. To me, that's just to me. It is just like it's like
So many great drummers,
Yeah,
though.
they are.
So many great, like Keith Moon from The Who,
Mhm,
John Bonham from Led Zeppelin.
mhm.
There's so many great
I
drummers.
think-
Neil Peart.
Yeah, and I think Santana on the guitar is great. John
Yeah.
McLaughlin.
Yeah, I'm partial. I like metal and stuff. So like Eddie Van Halen and Steve Vai, and those are like some of the stuff I grew up on. But yeah, I love all kinds of music though. But
Me too.
I also like bass. Bass is a fun instrument to play.
It's
It gets
like,
overlooked a lot.
It does.
absolutely. So like this is a portion where I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of homework. There's a song that I grew up to. Actually my father turned me on to. It's a song called Stomp by the Brothers Johnson. And he's like some of the baddest electric guitar and bass guitar riffs that you. Oh my God, it's an amazing song. Like matter of fact, after we get off here, I'm definitely gonna send you the song because it's a beautiful song. It should have did way better than what it did, but it was crazy. So it's like now, and like I'm more partial to the drums, because I love the sound of percussions because like anything could be percussion. Me hitting on the tables, it's like creating sounds, and things like that. And I was like, now when you look at producers that come up with these beats or these these instrumentals and things like that, you said like to you, what makes the perfect like song? Like let's take out the words and everything, but like to you, what makes the perfect song?
Well, I write all the music for Lisa's, all her lyrics. So I write all the music, and it comes down to melody. The melody line's the best, is what makes the song. You could have the bass, the drums, the guitar, the structure of the song, but it's the melody that carries the song, in my opinion. What do you think?
I think anything that's like any kind of sound that gets me like wanting the body to move, you
Make
know.
your head bop up and down.
Yeah, and that's what I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah,
feel it. I gotta feel the music.
Mhm. And you said that, like, how often are you guys in the studio with artists?
Once a week.
Once a
sometimes.
week. Yeah,
Yeah,
at least
once
once
a
a week, and then
Mhm.
also at the same time too, when we're not in the studio, but we're at many different like
Mhm.
places, venues, and seeing bands play. So we're always 100% around
Yeah.
music all the time. It's never not. And now it's dub. Now it's more where it's country, where it's rap, where it's R&B,
Yeah, we're all
It's-
over the place now.
Caribbean, tropical music. You're talking about. Oh, I'll tell you this.
Afrobeat.
Tell you this one thing. On December 9th, Lisa's putting her first show together
Mhm.
for Keezy, and it's an Afrobeat show. And you're talking about percussion. I got this guy named John Soprada who does steel drums, and he's
Okay.
going to be up here playing. And steel drums, I don't know if you really sat down and listened to it, but it's
They're
like
awesome.
it's like drums that makes melodies. It's
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
craziest stuff. Sounds
Sounds
amazing.
great.
Percussion, and it's going to be really cool.
Now,
So yeah,
you said-
we do all styles now.
Yeah.
absolutely. Now, I asked this to every person that I've had on my show that deals in the music industry and things like that. You said like we've all turned on the radio, or you said like and like heard a song that was so garbage that you sit there and be like, why would the engineer sit there, bruh, that ain't it. It's let's I guess recently, hip hop legend Melly Mel decided to call herself dissing Eminem. How in the fuck could the engineer say, yeah, bro, that's it, put that one out? You like, how detrimental is that to an artist for not being honest using with them? And because yeah, they're paying their money, but using, don't you have a responsibility as an engineer or somebody that's using taking responsibility, potentially somebody's career, to be honest with them? And why do you think that certain people will sit there and let you put out some hot garbage like that?
Well, one is money.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
All about the money. And two, it may not just be the producer or the engineer or even the studio musicians on the thing. It might be the record company or the agents or the manager's pushing for that to get put out. There's been, I'll tell you, do you remember the band? I believe they were called Warrant, and they were putting out an album, and the record company came to the lead singer, I think his name was Jamie Warren or something like that. And they said to him, they go, listen, you don't have a single on this whole album. I need you to write something that's sexy, that gets kids moving and dancing. So he wrote this piece of garbage song that he said took him like 5 minutes to write down. He wrote the song Cherry Pie. Yeah. That thing became a huge monster hit. And he'll even tell you today in interviews, that's the worst piece of crap I ever wrote in my life. Mm-hmm. So even he hated it, but he was pushed by his management team and the record company to push it out. So you don't know if that piece of crap that dude put out was something that maybe the engineers were like, dude, this sucks. But maybe they're in a situation where they had to put something out because you don't know what contractually he's facing. Maybe he has to put a single out within the next month. We don't know.
And contract is a big deal too.
Yeah. So if
deadlines.
Yeah, deadlines. So I face deadlines, and I'm a small artist on a basically like a B record label.
We got it now, though. We got you.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
But it could be any situation. He could have been pushed to have to do it. Who knows? I would think it's more management was pushing it out more than the producer. Because producers will tell you, man, even on a smaller scale, even my producer tells us, Jeff, this is crap, And I don't know. You don't know the situation.
And that's true. I guess because when I look at it, I'd be like, somebody in that guy's inner circle lacked some integrity, or they were just that much of a yes man. I didn't realize there was more to it than that. So I definitely appreciate you expounding upon that. You know what I mean?
It's like that story where like the guy's like, why'd that girl wear that?
Sorry, Dub. My phone's even on the silent thing. It's still not working.
I was saying the girl that's wearing that outfit, somebody lied to her and said the outfit looks good, right? It's the same with like a musician.
They have to have, but they have to have like, when it comes to fashion, they got like people paying that person to wear that ugly thing.
Yeah, but they do the same thing with music. They'll give you money to put a piece of crap song out there, and and it can just ruin artists.
It does.
When you put that garbage out there.
Okay, like speaking upon that, like to you, who was the biggest artist you saw take a huge crash and burn by possibly listening to their team and basically sent their whole career into destruction?
What artist? Probably Milli Vanilli.
That's the first one that popped in my head.
Milli Vanilli?
That's the first one that popped in my head.
What were those? Who was talking to those guys?
Yeah.
Like, this was a good idea.
Let's go lip sync.
Yeah. I don't know. Milli Vanilli?
Yeah, that's like the worst ones.
That's the worst one I could possibly think of.
Yeah. They got so much shit, and they never did come back from that.
I think the one guy committed suicide, too, didn't he?
Yeah, self-deletion. Yeah.
Didn't he?
Or he definitely went to rehab or something, yeah.
We were getting out of the square. We're getting out of the square, Dub.
Oh, you guys are good. Okay.
We gotta focus on staying close together.
Yeah, dude, like y'all are acting like y'all are married. You gotta act like you want to be with each other.
We got the square here that we have to be in. So.
I now pronounce you unhappy.
The square.
Use it like now. One thing that irks me, especially with the music industry now, is if I'm paying my money, I want to see you play. I don't want to see you on stage doing fucking karaoke. I don't want to hear your vocals behind you. It's like when you're developing artists, do you teach them to actually put on a performance, or do you be like, are you okay with an artist with the backing track with the vocals?
That's another double-edged sword thing.
Sometimes I see kind of both sides on that, because I really want to, if I'm paying, I really want to hear them, their original voice. But sometimes I kind of understand it. Like if they're on tour and they're doing way too many, shows and stuff like that, their voice gets worn out, and you don't want to ruin their voice. Because the voice, whenever you mess up your voice, or, your lyrics and stuff like that, it's really hard to recover from.
Well, also too, I mean, you're probably heard a lot of the controversy with that band called Falling in Reverse, how they had to cancel shows because they lost their laptop, right? But what was on the and then there's other musicians that say, well, you should be like, you know, a band like Aerosmith where we don't use a laptop. Well, the reason why they're using a laptop isn't really to cheat, where they have, you know, it's where they have synthesizers and orchestrated parts. You have a 4-piece band, you're not going to be able to pull that off live.
Right.
So, I mean, I go both ways with it. I want to hear our band rock out, but also it's kind of cool that we can use technology today to
help.
enhance and make things better.
Yeah, because they need their voice. They can't be like screaming and hollering all the time.
Yeah, you get, as a musician myself, and I did some singing, screaming and yelling like that destroys your voice. Look at Vince Neil.
Yeah.
The reason I asked that question because one of my favorite rappers is Jay-Z, and he did a few years back. He did a performance for Jermaine Dupri for I guess the 25th anniversary of "You So Deaf," and he was in the DJ. The DJ started playing a couple of Jay-Z songs, and Jay-Z was like, "I don't mess with the vocals." He was like, "These people paid their money." You saying like if you were just gonna play my vocals, you could have just put a picture of me on screen. I ain't have to show up. You saying like so like. To me, like I think it's important because like you see, especially like I know you guys are talking more like rock and stuff like that, and I'm more geared towards hip hop and R&B, and I see like especially like a lot of these newer artists, like I said, they're on stage doing karaoke, and
Yeah, you're right about that. They're singing to
my nerves.
Right.
You saying like I don't necessarily have a problem with backing tracks, especially like if you got it mixed down to where it's only playing the ad lib, so like the end of I guess the bar, to where like you might need to catch an extra breath or something like that. But it's like this entire song is playing behind you for whatever. Because I used to be a rapper myself, and it's like no matter how much you know your song, the track that's playing and you doing it live never match up. So it always sounds distorted to a degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. And look, the halftime show is all lip synced.
Right.
Everybody knows it, and that's why it always sucks. We always talk about the
dancing's
halftime
good,
show.
but that's not it.
Dancing's great, the choreography and everything, but you can blatantly see that they're not even singing.
Now, speaking of that, this year we got Usher. We were using for the halftime. You just saying like Usher's always been one of my favorite artists. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. You said like, let's see. I'm like, here y'all go. Like
he was sniffing me.
Did each of y'all?
I have to be in the square.
You can smell your
You guys are in the square, man. You say like, hey, we got 18 minutes left. Act like you like each other for 18 minutes. But
like
you
two
just
bad
like,
kids in the back seat.
right? And hey, don't make me turn this car around.
That's right.
But like, what songs would you like to see coming from Usher, especially during the halftime show? My person, he has to do "Yeah" with Ludacris and Lil Jon. If you don't do that, I'm turning the TV off. But what were you guys looking forward to seeing with that halftime show?
Man, I don't know. I don't even know if I know really a lot of Usher's music.
I always like Burn.
Yeah, I know it's not Usher, but I love that song "Pony" by Genuine.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
That's because I'm sitting next to him. See, this is why I punch him.
Yeah,
oh
I got other things on my mind right now.
Yeah.
Okay, you saying like after we get past the Usher one, if they took a poll, you saying to say, who do you want to perform at the following Super Bowl? Like who's some names that you guys would throw in the ring?
Oh man.
Wow, there's so many good ones.
Man, so many good ones.
Yeah.
Although, you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see like music from the past. I'd like to see some like 50s acts up there tearing it up.
Yeah. Get it back up where it used to be and start back up the scale.
I'd like to see like a whole thing where it was like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, like kind of a mix of music going all the way up to where we are today. That'd be really cool.
It's like when music was really music.
Yeah. Like have some like old school rap.
Yeah.
Like stuff I like. Like I don't even know if they would do it like Wu-Tang Clan or something like that, or that stuff I like, I'm over like the Eminems and like Aerosmith and stuff like that at halftime show. I want to see like Guns N' Roses go up there and tear it up. I want to see something good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I would like to see like Funkadelic. That'd be really cool. You know,
You
like
do you
I
like?
like
Could you
Kanye.
imagine? Could you imagine if George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelics was like literally the happy? Oh my God, that would be a show of all shows. You know what I mean?
throw Rage Against the Machine in there with them.
Oh, geez.
That'd be insane.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Or like George Clinton Funkadelic with like Limp Bizkit or something like that. Oh man,
That would be good.
Oh yeah.
that's what we need. We need some high energy at the.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sick of seeing like, I don't want to see Beyonce
No.
and stuff like that for a halftime show. I want to be blown away.
Right.
Like not that's definitely not discrediting Beyonce because Beyonce did her thing. You seen while she was up there, but it's like how many we've seen her in what 2-3 different
Yeah.
Super Bowls at this point.
We're just over it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just too much.
Yeah. Get somebody new. Get some old stuff in there.
Although
like-
the Justin Timberlake one was really good, and Janet Jackson, that was good.
Mhm.
That was the wardrobe malfunction thing.
But still, it was good.
Wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was on purpose, but
Right.
You man, who knows? But then again, you said like even with that, like because you said the world we live in is sexist no matter what. You said just so like
Right.
you look at you said the Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction, or you said with MIA was on stage with Madonna and she threw up the middle finger and basically killed her whole career. But you say you
Right,
see the guys doing all kind of crazy foolishness all the time, and it's like it's okay. But but then you fast forward to now, and you got a girl by the name of Suki Hana talking about I'm eating his ass. It's like, where do you think you said it shifted? Because you said like because a while ago you said women wouldn't do certain things. You said or you said like certain let's say artists in general wouldn't do certain things. Now because you look like back in like the 90s, all the guys are wearing baggy jeans and women were wearing tight jeans. Now women are wearing baggy jeans and guys are wearing tight jeans. You see, like, where do you think the shift came? Because, like, dude, we're in we're in another realm of the matrix at this point. You said with some of these artists.
oh man, I don't know.
This whole world's shifting right now. Like,
But something I learned recently, in every major empire that we've had throughout history, like the Roman Empire, the German Empire, the American Empire, every time there was gender role reversals in these different empires, it led to the downfall of that civilization. Did you know that?
Yeah.
And I looked into that. So I noticed there's a shift again, and it's happening now.
it's scary.
Where men are becoming more androgynous and women are becoming more masculine.
Right.
And every time that ever happens in civilization, we always fail as a civilization. But it's happening in music. And I don't know where that stems from. I just think that, man, it's like people are just so bored and they have to just keep creating all this different crazy bullshit. I don't know.
Right. You said,
It
but
blows
then
my
also, right, but also on the flip side of that, you look at because I also think history is repeating itself as well. Because you look at like back when Prince was really hot, you saying he coming out in assless chaps and using
Right.
That's
basically
true too.
androgynous as hell. You say so like do you think like history is repeating itself, or do you think that like it was a time you said like you said back for history, and then now it's just something totally different? Because me personally, I think it's history repeating itself.
Yeah.
I agree with you there too, and I
Yes.
also think that it's the more outrageous you can be, and the more outrageous, and nothing is shocking anymore. Like you
No.
really have to do something really extremely outrageous to be shocking
Mm-hmm.
in music, especially. So maybe that's the thing why you have to be as daring as you possibly can be to get noticed. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird situation, and but I'll say
Our
this though.
government's weird right now, so
Yeah.
how can we not be weird?
It's true. And I'll say this, I'm a product of the 80s. So
Mhm.
I like hair metal. So I
I like
was
holy jeans.
Twisted Sister. That guy was basically a trainee
Yeah.
on stage, right? He dressed as a woman and sang. So you're right. We are just repeating history.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think we are.
Yeah,
I agree
look.
with that. Yeah.
Me and my holy James.
And she's not holy whatsoever.
No,
Oh
I,
Lord,
I
have
don't.
mercy.
I haven't
Look
been.
up, cover your ears.
They say I'm the bad one, Dub, but she's really the
See?
ringleader.
It's the end times.
It's the end time.
There you
We
go.
get along. That's
Now,
hilarious.
you just like now that you guys are moving on to bigger and better things, you saying like where do you guys see yourself like within the next 5 years? You know, saying with everything that you have going on.
And
I don't even have time to even think about that.
well, I'd like to see the record label take off.
Yes.
I'd like to see us signing bands, and
Mhm.
and my goal, Dub, is not to get to the point where I'm like managing these bands on world tours. I just want to get them to the next level so that another record label could take over for their career once they leave past Cleveland and regionally. That's my goal for them. You know, I'd like to see us putting on some really big concerts where
Yeah.
we have to get like arenas to
Mhm.
put on shows.
That'd be
And,
good. We just got a lot of work to do. That's
Yeah.
getting to where we want to be at least.
And I want to get 1 million viewers on my podcast.
There you go.
That's the main goal, man.
Yeah.
You said
Same
now-
goal as you probably.
No, definitely. You know, you said now expound upon that because you said we're in the social media space and you see all kinds of things. You said like remember like when we were coming up as kids, you said your parents would only let you play Nintendo for a certain amount of time before it's time to take your ass to bed.
Yep.
And when they would say, you say, hey, you need to get a real job. You can't sit in the basement playing video games all day. You said, but now you got 13-year-olds that are millionaires for playing video games all goddamn day. It's like, so which leads me to where there's always a way to get it. You said whether you monetize your social media, whether you sit there and you do something you're already doing and figure out how to monetize it. Whether you're a vlogger and you saying so you're monetizing your lifestyle and things like that. It's like so me personally, I don't have respect for people that just sit on their ass when there is so many ways to generate income these days. Now, like let's say you said a child sitting in your basement right now. You're saying your mom and your dad. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, and they just like have no energy, no drive, or nothing like that. And you see they have potential, but they don't want to tap into it. So, like, how would you approach a conversation like, yo, you like playing video games all day? Let's start you a Twitch account. Hey, you going for daily walks and looking at nature. Hey, let's pick up a camera. Like, how would you have that conversation to maybe take what they're already doing to to teach them to monetize it or to like potentially do something, especially if they're like I said, if they're just sitting around all day and like you know what I mean? You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I will say this on my end of things. I've never had that. So I've never had a parent come to me and be like, you excel at this or you're good at this. For me, it was get a job or get out. And that's how I grew up. So it would, I don't have kids, so I don't know what it would be like to be that nurturing type parent. But if I was to talk to a young artist or somebody that I saw potential in that was doing nothing with their life, and I would definitely be, because I never had it, I would definitely be the person that would try to help them to get to their next level. Do it all the time with people I meet where I work.
I make it fun.
Yeah,
With
make it
kids, you
fun.
got to make it fun. Something that sparks their interest. Like if it's like playing a guitar and a music thing. Hey, let's go get you a little guitar. Let's go to the Guitar Center. Let's get you, let's put some of this on here. Try some of your skills on this little guitar, and make it fun for them. Because if they don't get their interest, they ain't going to do it anyway.
That's
That's
right.
You see, I asked
But yeah,
that
I've never had that, Dub. I never had that comforting, nurturing person come to me. So
I mean, and that's definitely
tough work.
understandable. But you were able,
yeah, you are.
but you were able to, like I said, take the scenario, turn it around, and so you can use it on people that you work with now. So which is, even though that was not necessarily given to you growing up, you can still be that for somebody, which I definitely think is commendable. Within itself. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm gonna wait till you finish coughing up your lung, but do your thing.
Yeah, I was.
I went down.
Oh, trust me, I understand. I've been there too many times. But because you said that you didn't have that, what gives you that compassion to be able to give that to somebody else, especially when you never was giving it yourself?
I don't know. I think just the fact that I've never had it and always wanted it. So when I came across situations like that, I knew that I could be compassionate that way because I know how much I wanted it. So I knew that it would be something good for somebody else.
Absolutely.
Right?
You always long for stuff.
Yeah.
That's human beings. And
Now, before we get up out of here, you said make sure you let everybody know where they can find you. You said, and what you guys got coming up here soon.
you go first.
All right. Well,
Mine's long.
yeah.
Go ahead.
December 6th is our first show back for Loud and Local. It's going to be a little bit different. You know, we are a music show, but we are going to be setting the standard a little different, where it's not just a podcast where it's just all talking. We have skits. We're doing different type of interviews. We have different music and production. Not only do we have that, we have a bunch of shows coming out. November 18th, we have Zombie Prom. We're basically transforming the club to look like a graduation night from a zombie apocalypse. It's going to be very cool. We got a bunch of bands playing. One of the bands we manage of Bolivia.
In Akron.
Lisa has her Keezy Productions, and we're doing more Afrobeat shows and more hip hop, more R&B, and we're just double everywhere.
Yeah. We have been.
And the podcast company too.
Right.
KZ Productions is KZ Productions. We'll be the new podcast company. We just got our office and we're just started loading it up, and so we got a lot going. We have a lot going on.
Yeah. Besides that, we got room.
Yeah. And she's got growing ways. I got, my day job, and
we're all over the place, Dub.
We're all over the place, man. And then we're trying to go see concerts too, and comedians. So,
but you can, if anybody wants to reach out to us, we're on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, we're everywhere.
Yeah, KZ Productions on Instagram. We got Black Rose Label on Instagram, Facebook. We have Loud and Local. We have a KZ Productions. Facebook, we have KZ Productions, YouTube,
Reverb Nation, we're everywhere.
Reverb Nation now.
And that's just the beginning, because
Spotify here soon.
We have the record label we have to start setting up, because we have to set up all the sites and all the platforms that
the album that we're doing. So.
Not only our album, and then we have other artists that like a Bolivia that we want to put on it. So it's never ending.
No,
it's endless amount of work.
Yes.
You said, whatever you guys got coming up, you said if you ever need a little Dub, you said he's there, he's got your back. You said he does it all. You said he does it all. He's the man. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We reaching out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you having us on, man. Very cool.
Absolutely. And you said I know you said going, but I've been be honest, have an honest moment. You said just stress, using life, everything. It's like, which is the reason I do my show the way I do it, so I could try to I usually take a Sunday because that's the only day I'm off really, and I try to fit a bunch of shows into that same day so I can put them out using over the week spans of time or whatever. That way I can still devote time to my family. I can still and it's like it's been a lot going on over here. So like I said, I'm doing the best that I can, and I definitely appreciate you guys stopping through and kicking it with me. And we definitely got to do this again, and hopefully I can get in you guys' show sometime soon. I definitely love that.
Absolutely.
Once we get rolling, have you come and do the same thing on our show.
Right.
Absolutely.
Definitely like to spread the love that way.
Yep.
Absolutely. Now, with all that being said, if you guys like this video, make sure you smash that like button, turn on the bell notification so you don't miss another video. Without further ado, I love you. Lil Dub loves you. Jeff and Lisa love you. We out of here, man. Peace.
Peace, man.
The boy Dub Deuce in the building.